All right, welcome. Today, we're going to dig into the surprising wealth that's hidden in the things we throw away, and more importantly, what that tells us about a much bigger, much more valuable idea.
I mean, that's a pretty powerful thought, right? The idea that what we see as totally worthless could actually be a source of incredible wealth. And you know what? This single idea, it's the key to everything we're about to unpack here.
And listen, this isn't just about being wasteful or, careless. It's actually about something a lot deeper. It's this collective failure to see value where most of us just see, well, trash. It's a huge blind spot in how we perceive things, and man, is it an expensive one.
Okay, so let's get into it. Where's all this wealth actually hiding? Well, let's start with the most obvious and somehow the most overlooked places. These billion-dollar mountains sitting right under our noses. I love this because it's such a brilliant way to reframe it. We're all conditioned to see landfills as like the end of the line for everything we buy, a giant symbol of waste. But what if we saw them as the starting point, as a super concentrated source of raw, valuable material?
And this is what's so cool. It makes the idea really tangible. We're not just talking about some abstract idea of value. No, we're talking about actual copper, aluminum, even gold dust from all our discarded electronics. I mean, there are rare minerals inside old phones that big companies are desperately searching for. It's literally a modern-day gold rush, and it's happening in places most people are trying to get away from.
And this quote, man, it just nails the core concept, doesn't it? The physical stuff, it doesn't change. What changes is the mindset of the person who's looking at it. See, one person sees a problem that needs to be buried, but another person, they see a warehouse full of inventory, just waiting to be sorted and sold.
So, okay, that's the big industrial scale. But this whole idea, it gets even more powerful when we bring it home. So let's shift our focus from the landfill to the living room and see how this forgotten cash flow is playing out in our own lives.
Okay, look at this number, $7,000. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. What on earth could that possibly represent?
Yep, that's right. Studies show that the average household, you, me, our neighbors, is sitting on about $7,000 worth of stuff they've completely forgotten about. We're talking clothes that don't fit, old phones and laptops, that insane tangle of cables in a drawer, tools gathering dust. It's literally the cash value of neglect.
So, what's going on here? Well, there's this hidden rule of money called emotional blindness. The idea is that once something becomes part of our daily landscape, we just stop seeing it, That old guitar in the corner, that stack of books. Their real value becomes invisible to us just because we're so used to it. And guess who thrives on this? Resellers and thrifters. They literally convert our blindness into their cash flow.
Okay, so we've talked about trash and forgotten stuff in our houses. But this is where things take a really important turn.
Because let's be super clear here. Everything we've just talked about, the landfills, the clutter in our homes, it's all just a metaphor for something way more profound.
It's an explainer about perception. This is the real lesson. The skill of finding value in discarded things. It isn't really about the things. It's about a way of seeing the world. It's about training your mind to look closely at what everyone else just ignores.
So what does that even mean, the currency of perception? How do people with this mindset actually see the world differently than the rest of us? Let's break it down.
This chart just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got what most people see, an inconvenience, right? Like having to deal with an old computer. But the wealthy mind, it sees an opportunity. We see waste, they see inventory. We see dust and boredom, they see the potential for value and profit. It's the exact same reality, just viewed through two completely different lenses.
And this is the secret that ties it all together. This is not just some quirky skill for people who flip stuff on eBay. No way. This ability to see potential where everyone else sees problems is the fundamental engine of creating wealth in pretty much any field.
And let's expand on that, because it goes way beyond physical junk. Think about it. This is the same mindset that finds potential in abandoned business ideas that were just a little ahead of their time. It's what sees those ignored markets that bigger companies think are too small. It's what looks at a team and finds forgotten skills or unused talent and says, hey, how can we bring that value to the surface?
Which brings us to the final and honestly the most important part of this whole thing. We're going to turn the lens away from the world for a minute and we're going to turn it directly onto you. So here's your challenge for today. I want you to try this simple exercise. Don't just glance around your room. I want you to actually walk through it, slowly. Touch the things you normally overlook. Pick up those objects you haven't touched in years, the things that have basically become invisible. And as you do that, I want you to ask yourself one single, powerful question.
And here's the question. Am I sitting on value I've become blind to? And hey, this isn't just about money. Are you sitting on a forgotten skill you could bring back to life? An old idea that really deserves a second look? Maybe a relationship you've kind of neglected? What value in your own life have you become emotionally blind to?
It's just a reminder that value, whether it's financial, intellectual, or emotional, it's not locked away in some far-off bank vault. It lives all around us. It's in our drawers, on our shelves, in our closets and garages, often disguised as the boring, everyday stuff we stopped really noticing a long time ago.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. The challenge isn't always about creating something brand new, out of thin air. So often, the greatest opportunities come from just developing a new perspective, from learning how to see the treasure that's been hiding in plain sight all along.